All right, guys, well, I'm back today with one of the absolute best high-value options for long-range precision shooting when it comes to first focal plane optics, the brand new Arken Optics SH-4J, a 6 to 24 by 50 millimeter first focal plane rifle scope. This one features Japanese glass and a ton of other incredibly nice features for the MSRP of $399, but specifically for the release of this and a few other videos I've been doing lately, they've created a code 704 that matches the best discount available at the time, which is 25% off, making the optic you see here $300 for an insanely impressive long-range scope. Now, you may be wondering what this is mounted to. This is a KAK Industries AR-10, and it's performing great down at the range, so it's a perfect high-value AR-10 to mate up with this high-value long-range scope. In conjunction with that, we were running the AAC ammo, and it worked out perfectly out of this entire setup. Plenty accurate for your everyday needs, 100% reliable and functional, as well as affordable, and all the best AAC deals can be found over on the campsite page and the campsite page in the description below. There's also discounts for KAK over there, including that discount 704 Tactical, and all of the information about the optic will be in the description below if you decide to grab it at the end of the video. But let's dig into the specs and features. In a nutshell, right out of the box, this is a 34 millimeter tube red dot with a 50 millimeter objective lens and a sunshade included in the box. There's also a wide variety of rings and mounting options, as well as throw levers and accessories you can grab on their site, and that code 704 is valid for 25% off anything you find over there, including their new EP8 LPVO, which I just did a review on. Definitely check that out. Now, the color of this is more of a dark gray, which I think looks great, and it's really interesting. It kind of sets it apart from other optics. Along with that, the fit and finish is spectacular. When you pull this out of the box, it feels like you picked up one of the more premium optics that costs well above $1,000. The fit and finish is going to be the same on something like this as those. This one does have exposed turrets. Now, they're not locking turrets, and that's where you have to start giving and taking some features for the price, but the turrets are some of the nicest in the industry, hands down. The clicks are audible and tactile, and it has a zero stop built in. The zero stop's very easy to set. You sight your scope in like normal. At this point, you loosen up 3 screws on the turrets. You put it to the return to zero where the zero mark lines up. You remove a set screw right here, push this set screw down, you tighten this set screw back up, and now no matter how many times you turn it up and you forget, you simply turn it back down, it slaps into the zero stop, and you know you're back to zero, which is a nice feature and super easy to set without any complications or need to remove the turret. It also has very nice windage and elevation turret located on the side. And I guess probably one of the cons of this optic is if you were doing some lightweight build for like backpacking, this is not your scope. This is more of a precision, heavier weight, longer range optic. It does have an illuminated reticle system and a side parallax adjustment, which works out great. No issues there. But that illumination is specifically for twilight and dusk shooting and hunting applications at early dawn. So it's nice that they include that. The reticle itself is actually very nice, very easy to understand, gives you a lot of information built in. The cool thing about the reticle, as you see in the intro, is it's got leader lines which are a little bit thicker, allowing you to take your shots at the 6 magnification with wide field of view pretty easily. And then when you zoom in, it gives you a lot more detail on either the MIL or MOA-based reticle system, or the VPR or the VHR reticle-based system, depending on what you like better and what kind of information you want for what type of shooting you want to do. Now, the zoom lever itself, or the zoom knob, is a little bit stiff, but not overly stiff. It helps with that waterproof rating. It helps with the seal, but you're not going to be kind of transitioning from 6 to 24 very quickly, so it's not that big of a deal. And if it is a concern to you, you can actually grab one of their accessory kits with the throw lever that attaches right there. Has a nice adjustable diopter, and everything about the specs and features when it comes to the interface with the user works out great. No issues there. Now let's talk about its performance down at the range, and let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Japanese glass. This is some of the clearest glass I've seen on an optic under $1,000. And if you didn't feel like spending $300, maybe you were just strapped and you were limited to about $225, they have this version, the SH-4 Gen 2, with their traditional glass that they normally utilize, which is also great glass. They're generally selling for $300, but after my code, they are $225. So if you couldn't push $300, you can grab that other one for $225. Is it worth spending the extra $75? I personally like the Japanese glass. I feel like if you're going to be taking this out 6, 7, 800, even 1,000 yards or further, the Japanese glass is where it's at. If you're primarily going to be shooting maybe 300 yards and in, and you don't need as much light transmission, even though both of them are amazing at light transmission, the 225 is going to do great, 500 and in all day long, no questions asked. But if you want the capabilities going out a little bit further, getting that a little bit better light transmission, a little bit better crisp lens system, go with the Japanese glass. That's just my humble opinion. I really like this optic. I like Arken Optics as a company in general, and I've been reviewing their products for a while now. I took kind of a hiatus because I was waiting for some new models to come out. With the release of these new models, they are second to none in the high-value scope category for the models they make. They also have a 4 to 16 version of a lot of their optics and a 6 to 24 version of a lot of their optics. And they just released one of their first focal plane LPVOs, a 1 to 8, with an incredibly nice reticle system, again, that I've reviewed on the channel. This is one of my go-to companies for optics, and once you try them, I think you'll like them too. Again, one of their biggest downfalls is the fact that they are large. They're big and they're a little bit heavy. But with that being said, it's worth the compromise for the majority of the shooting that I'm doing. If I'm going with a lightweight budget backpack build, I'm probably not selecting this optic, but I want you guys to at least take a look at this company and take a look at their lineup and take a look at some other reviews, because they are blowing me away at the quality and performance, especially at the price. Again, all this information will be in the description below. A lot of times these sell out fast. Right now the LPVO has a 6-week lead time, but the rest of the optics I discussed, including the SH-4 Gen 2 original and SH-4J, are both in stock, ready to ship. Again, check out that description. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.